It's been almost 30 years since the rap game lost Tupac, and for a long time it looked like nobody would ever go down for his murder. But now there's some shocking new evidence that could put people away for life. And today we're breaking down who really killed Tupac. When Tupac was shot and killed in Las Vegas, it shocked everyone. He wasn't just the biggest rapper in the game, he was a superstar all over the world. Pac was starring in movies, dropping platinum records, and making headlines pretty much every week. He had fans everywhere, but at the same time, he was surrounded by enemies. From street dudes to record executives, Pac had ops everywhere. There were a lot of people who wanted him dead, but we're gonna kick it off with the dude who allegedly put the green light on him to get robbed 2 years before he died. James Roseman, aka Jimmy Henchman, was one of the most dangerous dudes in New York. In 2012, he went down for running a massive drug ring that was putting 11 mil in his pockets every year. His Roseman organization would bring drugs from LA to New York through FedEx and UPS. Then they shipped the dirty money back to LA after they sold the drugs. Moving weight is one thing, but Henchman was involved in way crazier situations than that. He's been involved with the music game since the 90s, and during 50 Cent's beef with the game, Henchman's son got dragged into the drama, and it led to Henchman sending shooters at 50's homie Lodi Mac. Mac and Yayo spotted Henchman's son on the street and allegedly put hands on him for rocking one of Game's GU Not shirts. Mac went to jail over the situation, and 2 weeks after he came home, Henchman paid someone to shoot him dead in the street. Now Henchman's in prison for life, but some people think he should have been there a long time ago. Biggie Smalls came up in New York and already knew back then that Henchman wasn't the type of dude you wanted to be around. Biggie even warned Pac not to hang around him, but Pac started rocking with him anyways, and that's when the situation went left. Biggie and Diddy were at Quad Studios one night, and Pac was supposed to link up with them to record a feature for an artist that Henchman managed named Lil Sean. But when Pac showed up that night, 3 dudes jumped him in the lobby and he ended up getting shot 5 times. A dude named Dexter Isaac claims that Henchman gave him 2 racks to rob Pac that night, but it wasn't just a simple robbery. The shooting at Quad Studios sparked the entire war between the East and West Coast. Pac thought Diddy and Biggie were involved with what went down that night. Pac and Big were homies before the robbery, but that night sparked the most intense beef in rap history. There's no evidence linking Henchman to Pac's murder in Las Vegas, but he obviously had people who could get the job done if he wanted to. And there's a good reason he would want Pac out of the picture too. After Pac learned that Henchman was involved with the robbery, he aired him out on the track Against All Odds and rapped, "Promise to pay back Jimmy Henchman in due time. I know you bitch niggas is listening, the world is mine. Set me up, wet me up, niggas stuck me up, heard the guns bust, but you tricks never shut me up. Touch one of mine on everything I owe, I'll destroy everything you touch. Play the game, nigga." While he was moving tons of drugs and paying for hits, Henchman was trying to put up a front like he was just a record executive. He didn't want anyone to think he was involved with the streets, so Pac airing him out like that wasn't good for business. Henchman definitely wasn't the only dude who wanted Pac out of the way though. After Pac got shot, he ended up going straight to jail over a sexual abuse case. At that point, the drama between Biggie and him could have been squashed with a conversation, but according to rumors, Diddy made him drop the track that would take everything to the next level. While Pac was behind bars, Biggie came out with Who Shot Ya and rapped, "Who shot ya? Separate the weak from the obsolete. Hard to creep them Brooklyn streets. It's on, nigga. Fuck all that bickering beef. And I switches all that cocksucker G's up. One false move, get switched cheesed up. Click to tech, respect, I demand it. Slip and break the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not fuck with nor see Papa. Feel 1,000 deaths when I drop you." Biggie said that the track wasn't about Tupac at all and that people were crazy for linking it to him. But Pac still felt disrespected and said, "Niggas been talking shit all while I was in jail. Even if it ain't about me, nigga, you should be like, I'm not putting it out because he might think it's about him." According to rumors, Diddy knew exactly what he was doing when they dropped the track. He knew that the drama would sell more records, but nobody expected what was coming next. Tupac had some issues with Biggie after Who Shot Ya came out, but at that point, it was just between the two of them. But when Suge Knight hopped in and signed Pac to Death Row, it split the rap game in half and led to a huge wave of violence. Diddy might have wanted Biggie to beef with Pac, but he wasn't sending any shots himself. He probably would have never gotten involved with it, but he didn't have a choice when Suge went on stage at the Source Awards and dissed him in front of the entire rap game.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
Diddy starting up some drama between Big and Pac was a smart move to sell records, but there's no way he expected to get dragged into an all-out war. Not even a month after Suge aired Diddy out, His homie Big Jake was murdered in Atlanta, and an affiliate of Diddy named Anthony Jones was allegedly the one who killed him. Snoop Dogg was with Death Row at the time too. He wasn't rocking with all the drama, but that didn't stop him from almost getting killed over it. While he was filming a music video in New York, some shooters rode through and hit up his trailer on the set. Luckily, Snoop didn't catch any bullets, but the war was heating up faster than anyone expected. By the time Pac got out of jail, he was ready to take on the entire East Coast. And on the track Hit 'Em Up, he called out Diddy by name and rapped, "First off, fuck your bitch and the clique you claim. West Side when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys, niggas fuck for life. Plus Puffy trying to see me, weak hearts I rip. Biggie Smalls and Junior Mafia, some mark-ass bitches. And Puffy weaker than the block I'm running through, nigga. And I'm smoking Junior Mafia in front of you, nigga." Pac was putting all kinds of pressure on Diddy and his Bad Boy record label, and rumors say he's the one who put the green light on Pac. But before we dive into how Diddy's linked to his murder, we gotta take a look at the shooters he allegedly hired. Suge Knight came up in Compton repping a blood set called the Mob Power Rules. Death Row Records was full of dudes affiliated with the set, and sources close to the situation claim that being around so many gang members all the time is what made Pac so aggressive at the end. Just a few months before he died, Pac told an interviewer, "Right now, I know I'm not going to live forever. I know I'm going to die in violence." They asked him if he was afraid of that, and Pac said, "No, I'm not afraid of the niggas coming for me or what they might do, because it's going to happen. All good, niggas. All the niggas change the world die in violence. They don't get to die in regular ways. Motherfuckers come to take their lives." The Mob Power Rules had some major issues with the Southside Crips, and rumors say that Diddy was offering 10 racks for every Death Row chain that got snatched. 3 weeks before Pac was killed, some Mob Power Rules and Southside Crips ran into each other in Long Beach and got into a fight. A Power Rule named Trey got his chain snatched, and Orlando Baby Lane Anderson was there when it went down. Orlando Anderson wasn't just another Southside Crip though. He was the nephew of Dwayne Davis, aka Keefy D. Keefy D was one of the leaders of the crew, and back then he had cartel deals where he was bringing in over 300 kilos a month. He was also connected to the rap game because he was tied with Eazy-E. 3 weeks after Anderson was involved with the Death Row chain snatching, he was in Las Vegas at the same time as Pac and Suge. They went to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson fight, and when they walked through the hotel lobby, Trey spotted Anderson and pointed him out to Pac. According to a journalist named William Shaw, Anderson was actually a massive Tupac fan and was probably there just to see him, even though Pac was affiliated with Suge and the Mob Power Rules. Anderson's friends told Shaw that he owned every single Tupac record, but that night Pac wasn't treating him like a fan. He walked right up to Anderson and asked him, "You from the South?" then started swinging. Suge joined in and kicked him. Then the Death Row crew bounced when security rushed in to break it all up. Pac went back to his hotel room for a little while, then Suge picked him up to go to a place that Suge owned called Club 662. Anderson wasn't the only Southside Crip in Vegas that night though, and after the fight in the MGM lobby, Anderson and his homies hit the streets and started hunting for Pac. Keefy D's drug empire was eventually taken down by the police, and he was facing 25 to life for running it. Keefy knew that he couldn't beat the case if he went to trial, so instead he copped a deal and agreed to tell them exactly what happened that night in Vegas. Keefy told the cops that after Anderson got jumped, he met up with him and the rest of the Southside dudes who were in the city. That's when a dude named Zip told him about the guns he had brought into town and said they could use them. Zip was affiliated with Puffy, and he's allegedly the one who gave the Southside dudes the 40 cal Glock that killed Tupac. According to Keefy, Diddy put a mill on Pac's head after he dissed him on Hit 'Em Up. Right after Pac died, the rumors started flying that Diddy was involved and paid for the hit, and Eminem even talked about it while he was beefing with Machine Gun Kelly. On the track Kill Shot, he raps, "Kill Shot, I will not fail. I'm with the doc still, but this idiot's boss pops pills and tells him he's got skills. But Kells, the day you put out a hits, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Pac killed." Diddy has always claimed he didn't want any beef in the first place, and back in 2018, he went on Big Boy TV and said he's the one who told Biggie not to respond to Hit 'Em Up.
Like when we had got hit with Hit 'Em Up, I had to make the call to Biggie, and I said, we're not gonna respond. Somebody's gonna get hurt if we respond. I mean, I never felt the way with Hit 'Em Up. You know what I'm saying? I never felt a way with it because I really laughed at it, the way I was portrayed in the video. I saw the fun in it.
According to Biggie's homie Lil C's, that's not how it went down though. He told Fat Man Scoop,
Big didn't rush in, make a diss track, and he like, yo, nah. Big told everybody, if you make a record, I'm not fucking with you. Don't call me, don't fuck with me. If you respond to anything, you will be cut off.
Pac was sending crazy shots at them, but Biggie still wanted to leave it open so they could squash everything. Big allegedly even cried when he heard the news that Pac died. After it happened, he wanted to do whatever it took to end the war, and in an interview he said, "We two individual people, we waged a coastal beef, and that really bugged me out. I've got to be the one to try to flip it, because Pac can't be the one to try to squash it because he's gone. Then just 6 months later, Biggie was murdered in LA. The rap game losing both of them was a tragedy, but what makes it even more sad is that Pac allegedly wanted to settle things with Biggie as soon as he got home from Las Vegas. C says that Pac's homie, Young Noble from the Outlaws, told him that Pac was ready to squash the beef.
Pac was going to Vegas. Before that, he was like, yo, when he come back from Vegas, he was going to sell that shit with Big.
Wow. Damn.
Wow. So, you know what I mean? So that shit was going to get deaded, you know what I mean, eventually. You know what I mean? It was going to get squashed. He really knew what happened. He knew what was going on. He knew Big didn't have nothing to do with that. He knew we didn't have nothing to do with that. I just think he was just caught up in the situation.
But unfortunately, he never got the chance. After Keefe and the other Crips got the guns from Zip, they loaded up in 2 vehicles and went to Club 662. The plan was to wait there and catch Pac, but after around half an hour, some of the dudes got nervous, so Keefe hopped in a whip with Anderson and 2 other dudes so they could hit the streets and look for Pac. When they spotted Suge and Pac on the strip, the Crips hit a U-turn and Keefe passed the Glock to the back seat. Keefe was riding shotgun and didn't have a good angle on Suge's car, so he tried to give the strap to a dude named Dre who was sitting on the other side of the whip. According to Keefe, Dre didn't want to take the shot, so Orlando grabbed the gun and leaned over with his arm out the window. He started letting off shots, and Pac got hit 4 times. A couple of days after they killed him, Keefe said they met up with Zip in LA to collect $1 million on Pac's head, and Diddy called to ask, was that us?
You said that Puffy called and said, was that us? And you didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. Yeah, you're right.
But even if Diddy did have $1 million on Pac's head, Keefe and the rest of the Crips never saw any of it. Instead, the FBI allegedly told him that Zip pocketed the cash he was supposed to deliver after the hit and used it to open a nightclub. The thing about Keefe's deal with the police is that if he gets caught lying about anything he said, he could still go down for murder. Reggie Wright Jr. was the head of death row security back in the day, and last year he said,
let's put it this way. I bet Keefe D been having the runs for the last 2 weeks. Because yeah, they are knocking on doors and there's some activity.
For a long time, everyone thought that Orlando Anderson was definitely the shooter, but it turns out that might not be the case, and Keefe could be getting hit with a murder charge any day. According to a witness who saw how it went down, the arm that came out of the whip holding the gun was big. Anderson was a small guy, but his uncle Keefe definitely isn't. When DJ Vlad brought up the witness to Keefe, he immediately got pressed and said they were lying.
What witnesses were saying, though, was that when they saw the arm stick out the window and do the shooting, it wasn't a skinny arm. It was a bulky, hefty looking arm.
Well, I was in the passenger seat.
I'm not saying it's you. I'm saying that there's 4 people in the car, but they said it wasn't a skinny arm that stuck his hand out the window.
Who the witness?
Can't say.
Okay, they lying.
Keefe kept his name alive by talking so much about the night Pac died, but his mouth is what got him in the trouble he's facing now. A police source told The Sun that Keefe talking so much helped them put the case together. If he just stayed quiet and kept his head down, he probably would have never been bothered. But a couple of months ago, the news broke that the police raided his house and came out with all kinds of evidence. Sources say that the charges are coming for him any day and that the cops think they have enough evidence to convict him of murder. Trying to convict someone almost 30 years after the crime went down is almost impossible. So if Keefe ends up getting charged with Pac's murder, it means they must have some crazy evidence against him that proves the story he told the police was a lie. What's even crazier about all of this is that way more people will probably get wrapped up in the case. After Reggie Wright Jr. said the cops were on to Keefe clapped back and told DJ Vlad,
and I said he needed to be right in handcuffs with me for Tupac for Biggie murder, because I know he had his hands in that shit.
Obviously, Keefe doesn't care about working with the cops and snitching on everyone, especially if it helps his own case. He was involved with a lot of big names back then, and if he has any evidence against them, he'll probably hand it all over to the cops. Diddy could end up in the trial too, and pretty soon we might finally have the full story behind Tupac's tragic death. And if Keefe starts telling on everyone, we might even find out who really pulled the trigger on Biggie too.